Episode 7 of Doctor Who Season 15 starts in Bavaria 1865 with Ronnie showing up at a secluded cabin. The guy has 7 children, and it seems like this is a lucky number. Not for them, though, as Ronnie decides to take the child from the mother, Violet. Ronnie casts a spell on the rest of the house, turning them into various animals and, for Mum Violet, a whole bunch of petals. Cut forward to London 2025, and Doctor wakes up in bed with Belinda. The Doctor kisses her, and they even have a kid together. So, it's a dream sequence. Conrad is also here too, speaking on the TV and doing reading time, with a Doctor Who book fashioned in the style of J.K. Rowling's Harry Potter book covers. The date is May 24th, and Ruby shows up at their door. She doesn't appear to be part of this weird dream sequence, and urges him to see sense. All the houses seem to be identical down the street. There are bins full of smashed china, and there's even a giant skeletal creature roaming about. Unit is here too, but it's been fashioned into an insurance company, which the Doctor works at. The day continues to repeat, and it seems like this entranced, repeated occurrence is being fashioned by Conrad's words on TV. Belinda starts to realize something is awry when she can't remember going into labor or giving birth, so she rushes down to the woods and decides to scream. At the same time, all the workers at Unit are marveled by the arrival of the Time Lady. This is, of course, the Ronnie, and they cast doubts on the Doctor when he tries to remember who she is. There's a large palace with 4 huge legs stretched across London that dwarves the skyline. Ronnie isn't exactly subtle, as we learn this is the HQ where Ronnie and Mrs. Flood are overseeing matters. Mrs. Flood brings sandwiches to Conrad, who's bringing his vision to life. He's been chosen because he had a wish to change the world, and they have just the amplifier to make that happen. This comes from that Bavarian child, and this is what's apparently sustaining this world. As we learn later on in the episode, this is Desiderium, the god of wishes, and he's in a crib next to Conrad. The world is going to end very soon, with Ronnie intending to destroy all of these little people. The machinations of their plan, though, is still unclear right now, though. Within the fringes of London are the disabled and disowned, who all come together and understand what's happening. With Conrad seeing them as invisible to society, they are in fact invisible to his world. They liken Conrad to a god and suss out that the giant palace in the sky is what could be the root cause of this. The Doctor receives a transmission come through on his TV, managing to shift his perspective and realizing something is wrong with this world. The smashed cups are a big clue, and he encourages Belinda to watch as the cups literally fall through the floor. Belinda rings through to the authorities and reports the Doctor, pointing out his doubts in this world. This is the same thing that happened to Ruby when she was kicked out of her house by her mum, and the Doctor is ultimately taken away by police. Among the forces happen to be Mrs. Flood, who also takes Belinda as she's having doubts too, flanked by Shirley and another wheelchair user. Ruby hides from the authorities by standing alongside a small, knee-high wall. They realize that the signal is coming from the top of this large palace, and they work to try and stop this signal before it's too late. Up in this large palace, though, the Doctor and Belinda are encouraged to step through a veil, where they're brought before the Ronnie. She shows off the seal of Rassilon to him, but it doesn't do much to jog his memory. Rassilon was the President Eternal of the Time Lords, and when Ronnie gets frustrated that the Doctor can't remember, because he's obviously still under this spell, she gives his memory a bit of a kick by dancing about and allowing some flashes to the good old days of Doctor Who to bleed through. The Ronnie reveals that the whole world is just one big wish, and after awakening the gods, he's brought this on himself. Along with some exposition about Conrad's role to play here, we also learn that Ronnie has been boosting his powers using the Vindicator. Doubts are what's causing the world to fall apart, and Ronnie intends to magnify the Time Lord's doubts. Because if they question hard enough, it can cause a crack in the world so large it'll break open reality itself. Ronnie is after the one who's lost, nestled deep underground. This is Omega, the first Time Lord. Hearing the voice as the world comes apart at the seams is enough for the Doctor to remember. But it's too late. Trapped out on the balcony, the Ronnie sends the Doctor tumbling down to his doom.